guys? Your boy Div to the MO, back at it like a crack addict with these mathematics. Solve fabric, so I do cause steady. And we here with another reaction, man. This one is a documentary. It's a documentary presented by the brother Jake Tran. Salute to you, brother. Big salutes. And it's called "Who Actually Runs the World." Now, you already see we've been on a deep dive of Ren recently, and he talks about the central banks and who runs the world of politics. You've seen that we've been on the Tom McDonald deep dive, and he talks about the same thing. To me, let's boil it down to a little documentary presented by one of the latest channels on YouTube. Respectfully. But anyway, rock with the content. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want me to review or react to one of your videos, put it in the comments, man. Let's get into it. Uh-oh. Alright, see, I got BlackRock on the corner, Serge Valet Recruiter, 6/10/2023. Oh, that was last year.
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians. You can take this big ton of money, and then you can start to buy people. Let me tell you, it's not who's the president. It's who's.
I gotta remove the mask for this one, you heard?
Oh my God! What is that?
Let's get into it. For me.
Controlling the wallet.
And who's that?
The hedge funds, BlackRock, the banks. These guys run.
Oh man.
A couple of years ago, we released this legendary video. BlackRock, the company that owns the world, with over 3.5 million views.
That is true though. They
But
own
back
most
then,
of the,
we only had secondhand.
They own most of the financial assets of the the largest companies in the world. And how did they attain those finances? I mean, attain the money to even acquire the shares of these companies? Maybe he explains it. Shout out to you, Jake, man. I love people who do stuff like this, man. Opening the minds of the people that think that we're all not controlled somehow, some way.
Information to go off of. But now we have this guy, Sergey Varley, a BlackRock recruiter exposing it all, thanks to an undercover operation by James O'Keefe.
First, there's the senators, and these guys are cheap. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator. I can give you 500K right now, no questions asked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. We're done. Volatility creates opportunity to make profit. War is real good for business. You're like an undercover reporter. I don't know. No people don't give a shit. This is beyond them.
So now, from the horse's mouth itself, here's a simple guide on how to actually rule the world.
Full video will be down in the description, by the way. Own everything. Step 1.
Step number 1, to rule the world, you first need to control an obscene amount of money.
Yes.
See, money gets you to the big boys table. And when you're at the big boys table, that's where you can actually start influencing how the world works.
Anybody who wants to go into politics, they're all puppets. There are 150 and they're all men that run the world. Period, full stop. They control most of the important assets. They control the money flows. And these are not the tech entrepreneurs. Now, they are going to get rolled over the next 5 to 10 years by the people that are really underneath pulling the strings. And when you get behind the curtain and see how that world works, what you realize is it is unfairly set up for them and their progeny. First order of business is, I want to break through and be at that table. That's the first order of business. And the way that I do that is by proving that I can do what they do as well as they do it. And then do it better than how they do it. Because at the end of the day, they are commercial animals, okay? And they'll open the door out of curiosity and they'll let me stay because I add value.
But it all starts with money.
You acquire stuff. You diversify, you acquire, you keep acquiring, you spend whatever you make in acquiring more. And at a certain point, your risk level is super low. Like, imagine you've invested in 10 different industries, from food to drinks to like technology, right? One of them fails, it doesn't matter. You have 9 others to back you up. True. Risk management is inherently in just about everything.
That's like basically when if you went to stocks. This is for my people who's in the stock market. Like, well, you buy ETFs. If one company out of that, like everyone invested in Apple and it tanked one day, which I highly doubt it because clearly BlackRock and all these other one percenters of the world have a play in these big companies like Apple because Apple takes a lot of information from the people and they surveil everything. Now they're gonna see, okay, this is how people are moving. Now we're gonna do this, do this, do this, do this to keep controlling them and putting the propaganda out there. But anyway, if like a company like Apple end up falling, but you're already in a tech ETF that has Apple in the 500 or the S&P 500 that got Apple in the in the in a database. If Apple falls, you good with the other 499. You feel me? So that's basically what they talk about. Let's go.
And in the finance space, it's all about the money you make. You don't let it sit. You keep using it over and over, and exponential growth. You own a little bit of everything, and that little bit of everything gives you so much money on a yearly basis.
And that's exactly what BlackRock did. Today, BlackRock has more than $9 trillion of assets under management. And you know what that means, right? It means that if BlackRock
hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
was a country, they would be the 4th biggest country in the world in terms of assets, surpassed only by Japan, China, and the US. That means BlackRock is bigger than the UK, bigger than Germany, bigger than France, Canada, Italy, and they own a percentage of every single major company in existence. So BlackRock is now in this position where not only do they have this incredible influence over every single company out there, but now if all they did was sit back and do nothing, they would still get another $500 billion every year if all they did was grow their assets by another 5%. Now that is power. It's why their assets under management is projected to hit.
That's why we trying to tell people who's not awakening to understanding what the Matrix really is and how we are part of it, that the laws is governed and it's only portrayed and pushed on to the citizens because we have no money, we have no power, we don't stand together, we always divided, we always not united, right? If you have money like this, that real FU money, what's people going to do? Well, they not going to lock you up, son. Like, you feel me? Perfect example. Remember what happened with the Epstein Island? We seen the list of all the people that was on there. We seen the elite people that was on there. Did any of them get locked up? How did Epstein 6 something, 200 something pounds? We already know if you ever been, not even been to jail, if you ever seen jail documentaries, those bum beds are not that tall. How did he end up unaliving himself? It doesn't make any sense. Like, you feel me? The reason they had to cut him off because he was a part of these oligarchs is because if he was still alive and he went through that court case, he could have ratted and told on everybody. Look at Ghislaine Maxwell. What happened to her? We don't hear about her anymore. She's supposed to be locked up in the feds, right? Allegedly. Like, allegedly. She probably not even in there, respectfully. They stopped coverage on that. Like, if you got money and influence and you got a seat at the table, laws don't matter. It's only governed towards us because we're just pawns and we're monetary value to these people. That's it.
$15 trillion by 2028. And now that you own a little bit of everything, you now have this bird's eye view of the entire economy that no one else can see. Think about it, if you can see where money is flowing into and out of for the entire economy, that is insanely valuable. So now it's time to use this advantage to make yourself useful to the governments. So useful that the government starts to become dependent on you. Aside from the public companies,
that's like when the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers bailed out America during the Great Depression. Now America was relying on these people who has too much influence and too much money to push the economy into a forward position. With that being said, the people in charge of America at the time now have to listen to the people behind the scenes and make every play they say, because look at the trillions of dollars in debt we have. Who you think we owe like that? Who you think we owe? The same way how they did to Africa. You know how the Chinese do to Africa? They go over there, take up land. Hey, we could help you build an airport. Yeah. But they know the country can't sustain it or pay them back. So, and in actuality, after 5 to 6 years, that land that they put the money on to build that landing strip for the airport, now it's China. They do this on purpose, and America does this everywhere. Why do you think in certain countries in Africa? Remember when I think it was Obama and Joe Biden. I think it was both of them. I could be wrong. When they was trying to push the LGBTQ agenda on um on Africans. They was like, no, we not rocking like that, and that's why they kept trying to do different coups and assassinate people. But anyway, hold on 1 second.
2,000 years later.
That BlackRock is invested in, like Coca-Cola, BlackRock also has their grubby little fingers inside of a bunch of private companies as well, to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. And this is with their private equity division. And why is BlackRock in private equity? Because private equity is where you're able to get in early on exclusive companies before they go public, before they potentially go to the moon, while also giving BlackRock a lot more influence on the company from the inside. Like, imagine if you got into Tesla just before they went public. That is private equity investing. Private equity investing has traditionally been reserved for giants like BlackRock, who can write million-dollar checks to private companies. And on top of that, the downside of private equity is that typically your money isn't very liquid. It's not like the stock market where you can just sell your shares whenever you want, so typically your money is locked in for years at a time, which is not ideal. But what if you could have the best of both worlds? What if you could get exposure to some of the most innovative private companies while also having the liquidity of a publicly traded stock? Well, that is where Stack Capital comes in, today's paid sponsor. If you've heard of REITs or real estate investment trusts, where you
Jake, I rock with you, brother. That was a smooth transition to the ad. That was definitely a smooth transition. I'm gonna watch it because I rock with your channel and I'm trying to show you support. Let's go.
buy a REIT stock to get exposure to real estate, it's the same idea here but with private equity. Stack Capital invests in really innovative private companies like SpaceX, Hopper, Locust Robotics, and more. That way, if you buy Stack Capital stock, it would be kind of like if you invested into SpaceX and all these other companies as well. Except since you're putting your money into a publicly traded stock, you can sell way easier than compared to private equity. Of course, this still comes with all the same risks as any investment, and I am not a registered financial advisor, but if you've been itching to get access to these type of companies, this might be a good route for you. You can learn more about what company Stack Capital is invested in by scrolling down and clicking the link below. Scroll down and click the link below to learn more about Stack Capital now.
When I get off of this, I'm gonna do that because I want to invest in these type of companies as well. I gotta build my portfolio. Ingratiate yourself to the politicians. All these politicians are paid off. Why my eye look red? Oh, that's just the screen. I look like I'm high off that gas.
Step number 2, make yourself indispensable to the governments.
Economic simulation. They need to understand the impact of something, right? They're gonna raise the interest rate, for example. It's gonna create this cascade of various factors that people they're not sure what it's gonna do, basically.
This is where BlackRock's secretive financial markets advisory group comes in. Now, BlackRock's Financial Market Advisories Group sounds like a vague, unassuming division of the company, and on paper, this division does not even make BlackRock all that much money. But the secret division is by far BlackRock's most important. The Financial Markets Advisory Group does everything from risk analysis to stress testing asset valuations for groups like the European Central Bank, the government of Greece, and of course, America's Federal Reserve.
Look at that, son. The team, the blandly named Financial Markets Advisory Group, offer risk analysis, stress tests, and asset evaluation to clients like the European Central Bank, the government of Greece, the whole government of Greece, and the big U.S. banks. We already know they talking about the Federal Reserve and all these other central banks in there in America. How are you, the asset watcher, the analysis of the Federal Reserve, the central banks? That means your family, whoever started BlackRock, whoever been investing in BlackRock, your family been here and been doing this for years. You can't tell me the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and all these families that we at least know of, the ones that we do know of, are not a part of this, bro. You can't tell me that. And for this company to be a public traded company, I believe, don't get me wrong, people, people like us, if we invest in it, it will make us money in the long run. But it's also destroying us in the long run because we know these people run the world. So we making money, but we making money off the backs of our own people, which is crazy, son.
And by offering services that no one else can provide to big business and the governments, BlackRock started racking up a lot of political goodwill with the most important decision makers in the world. This allows BlackRock to have a hand inside almost every major central bank and financial authority in the world. Just imagine the kind of insider information you could have at your fingertips if you were the one helping central banks around the world make decisions. Recessions, major market crashes, decisions to raise interest rates, to lower interest rates. If we already know that politicians have repeatedly done insider trading on these things in the past, it's safe to assume that BlackRock definitely knows about all these things well in advance, way before they happen, especially when they're the ones helping these politicians make the decisions. Today, BlackRock has become completely and utterly entrenched in the American government, along with many other institutions around the world. The government asked BlackRock to help organize the sale of Bear Stearns after the 2008 financial crisis. They asked BlackRock to help with the bond buyback program during COVID, and BlackRock has even helped the Vatican get their finances in order. And when you've infiltrated governments this deeply, it makes buying off the politicians that much easier.
And if they can't buy you off with the money and how much influence they have in other countries, that's it. Like, you see what happened with Trump recently when he was attempted, and I think they did it, they scared him on purpose because, come on, bro. It don't make no sense. How does this young man get a vantage point at one of the only places that the CIA allegedly didn't look around for? And then the people who was there, the regular civilians like me and you, seen this young man with a gun go up that tower and set up his shot, and he missed and missed 6 shots. That was to scare Trump into taking a backdoor deal. I don't care what nobody tells me. I don't care. Like, you can't tell me nothing different, because they already had a feeling that he was gonna win, but they don't want him to win because he wasn't backed by those people. You feel me? Now he's getting backed by these people through a backdoor deal. We don't know what he's gonna do in that office. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I keep it 100. I was gonna vote for Trump. You feel me? Because he did a lot of things during his first time being in the office that helped a lot of people in general, especially the black community. He helped get 50 to 60,000 people home from the Clinton crime bill that got a lot of black brothers and sisters locked up for little minuscule crimes. Like, you understand? He helped fund the HBCUs every year. Feel me? Taxes was low during that time. We was making a lot of bread during that era. And then COVID happened. And the reason, I ain't gonna get into that. You already know how YouTube is, but you know. Or two. Or everybody.
Step number 3. Buy yourself a few politicians.
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians. Let me tell you, it's not who's the president. It's who's controlling the wallet. First, there's the senators. And these guys are cheap. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator. I can give you 500K right now. No questions asked.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who wins. They're in my pocket with this money.
Here's what you have to understand about politics, is that even though they look and sound all powerful on TV, these politicians are nothing. They don't have any actual power. They are merely puppets. Most of them don't start out with any money. So in order to get elected, they have to befriend wealthy donors like you. And when you actually get them elected, most American senators, for example, only make a measly $174,000 a year, which means these puppets are incredibly easy to bribe. Think about it, if all you offer them was $500,000, that's almost triple their yearly salary. So of course they're gonna bend over and take it.
Nigga, you gay.
$500,000 for you is quite literally chump change, so it's a pretty good deal. But keep in mind, in the US there are campaign contribution limits. But don't worry, because there are plenty of ways for a politician to receive $500,000 worth of value.
You could even with if you run a business, you know how to just go. A lot of the times, if you run a business, the business don't even have to be in your name. So if one of these people from BlackRock invested in, let's say, my business, Dreams and Faith Apparel, right? Dreams and Faith, because I got different branches of my business. Dreams and Faith, right? Let's say one of them people say, yo, you got influence on YouTube, blah 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 blah. We give you 500,000. Dreams and Faith is technically not in my name. Like, you feel me? So if it's technically not in my name, they give it to me. When you look it up, it's like, okay, they donated to this business, or they could do it secretly and they donate to the business, and I still do what I've been doing. There's mad ways around it. That's what, because the system is set up for it to be different go arounds. Because if you are a part of the system, or you making the rules of the system, why wouldn't you have go around so to get your people off? But anyway, you know.
From you without you actually having to wire them $500,000, wink wink. You just gotta get creative. And now that you have the politicians in your pocket, now it's time to double down on one of the most profitable arenas, war.
That was Joe. That man always falling. Profit from influence. That's how what's that brother? The one who
I'll give an example.
Who invested in the one who had the Antifa? What's it? George Soros. Remember that's how he made his money off Hungary. That's how look it up. That's how he made his money off Hungary.
Russia blows up Ukraine's grain silos. The price of wheat's gonna go mad up. So what are you gonna do if you're a trading firm? The moment that news hits, within a millisecond, you're gonna pump trades into whoever the wheat suppliers are, into their stocks. Within an hour or two, that stock goes up, and then you sell, and you just made, I don't know, however many mil. This is fantastic if you're trading. Volatility creates opportunity to make profit. War is real good for business. It's exciting when goes wrong, right?
And that's not all. In June 2023, BlackRock announced it will be setting up a reconstruction bank with the Ukrainian government to help rebuild the country and attract private investments. And even though BlackRock said they're going to be offering their help for free, this move will put BlackRock in the perfect position to get in early on all the best investments. Think about it, if Ukraine wins this war, it's safe to assume that America is just going to dump even more money into the country to rebuild and take it over. And BlackRock will be in the perfect position to know about it first and capitalize. That's why companies like BlackRock are doing everything in their power to keep the war going, because the more damage the war creates, the more reconstruction will be needed.
Ukraine is good for business. You know, right? We don't want the conflict to end.
If you own shares in Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Boeing just like BlackRock does, then war is great for business. If you have contacts in the government that tell you when Ukraine's grain silos are blown up, or when America's gonna sanction Russian natural gas so you can profit off of it, war is great for business. If you own shares in the companies that are eventually gonna be
like, especially remember when they just recently destroyed that Russian pipeline, and then try to put it in the news and spin it saying, "Hey, this was something Zelensky had planned, but he called it off. But the people that he gave the go-to to got drunk on a boat and dived down and destroyed it."
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
They really think we slow, son. Like, they really think we gonna listen to that and think, "Oh yeah, okay, that's what really happened." No, it did not. They did that on purpose because war is good for money. If you keep pissing off Russia and people keep getting unalived in the Ukraine because Russia is winning clearly right now, that's just money. Once you get a certain threshold, money don't mean nothing. Once you, I believe, I could be wrong. I don't got money. I ain't up. Right? I believe once you get to the financial space of you got like $20 million, what really can't you buy? You could buy everything you really want in the world. You could buy little islands and all that with $20 million liquid. Especially if it's coming in every year. $20 million, you good. Imagine you got $1 trillion to play with. You bored, bro. Now you just want power. That greed and power corrupts everything. Respectfully. You feel me? That's why they could sit here and do this to millions of civilians and not care. Because they don't live the lives we live. We know how it is to be one with each other. We know how it is to be with community. These are people who just powerful. They know how to chill with each other, but they all got the psychotic mindset. Oh man. Dude's just weird, bro.
Hard to rebuild Ukraine, war is great for business.
They do the same thing, bro. This ain't nothing new under the sun, man.
And from there, you're kind of set. Because again, if all you did right now as BlackRock was just sit back and let your money compound, it will practically be impossible for anyone to catch up to you. You'll keep getting more and more in bed with governments around the world. As you continue helping them, you'll continue buying more politicians, you'll continue getting first dibs on the most lucrative investments out there, and you'll continue profiting off of crises as they happen. All you gotta do is make sure you continue operating in the shadows, staying out of the limelight as much as possible.
They don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it.
But let's be real. Even if the masses did realize what you were up to, they're not gonna do anything about it. They're too preoccupied with TikTok paying their rent on where they're gonna go out this weekend to care.
Most people don't give a shit. This is beyond them.
So that is the cycle of life. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get everything.
What I try to tell you, this country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.
Stay dangerous, yeah. Hey man, shout out to the brother, man. Shout out to the brother Jake Tran, man. He does amazing content. But man, I think I seen one of his videos probably like a year or two ago, and I'm like, oh, this dude is dope. But I never subscribed. I think I subscribed to him on my other channel, not to my reaction channel or anything like that. But what you guys think, man? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. I like to converse about things like this, man. This is dope. You know what? I'm not gonna do like that, brother Jake inside Drake. Definitely gonna subscribe. Notifications on, my boy. And you get a like. But anywho, it's your boy Div to the Deal to the MO, back at it. What? It's your boy Div to the Deal to the MO. Remember, check your mother piece. Don't nobody tell you can't do what you want to do out here. Be the best version of you can be. Protect these kids. Protect yourself from this bum virus. And always remember, the government is your boy. I love you. I love you. I love you. Peace. You hear me? If you like more content like this, I definitely will be uploading more. Yeah, I know I love my conspiracy bags. I love understanding and knowing the truth about the world. Because if you understand the truth, and then you understand that these people are purposely putting in other people are people are purposely putting up dividers between us with race, sex, gender, all this other nonsense that don't matter, just to continue doing this behind the scenes. We need to have these discussions. We need to start uniting more. Because think about it, they said it. It's 150 people doing this. But there's only a good group of people who have this type of money. Anyway, I'll see y'all. No diggity, no down, baby.